We're now joined by Hugo von Sale, CTO of Manx Telecom Group. Hugo, why is technology investment important to Manx Telecom? And when we were looking to refresh this platform, what were the important aspects to you?
We are a company that deliver solutions to our customers, communication solutions, and that has a heavy reliance on technology. Things move at such a rate now, at much higher rates than we've ever seen before, with new technologies emerging. So it's an ongoing aspect for telco providers to keep on investing in new technologies. It's the only way for us to make use of the state of the art and give the customers the best possible service that we can. That's the importance of technology refresh, and it will just accelerate as we go through the upcoming years. What's important for us when we were looking for a partner is to find someone who also have the right credentials, a company who are at the forefront of technology, not the bleeding edge, technologies that we can rely on, and because we are an operator after all, and we need to provide good service to our customers. So having enough forward look and view to give us what it is that we need, but also do that in a way that we can operate that in a responsible way, and then of course manage our costs and the financial aspects of that as best we can.
And what was it that HP did to kind of answer some of those requirements that Hugo had from a refresh point of view?
I think just listening to Hugo, there's a difficulty in being a leader is you always have to set the marker. And I think what HPE and Nexstor were able to bring to the table was just the simplicity of allowing Manx to do more. It sounds very cliche, but it's ultimately really important for business like Manx Telecom to set the precedents and set what good looks like. And if we can help them do more for their customers, do more for their staff, that naturally will knock on to their customer loyalty and their customer satisfaction.
Can I quickly jump on that? So, and more is important because, as Don would have explained before, Manx Telecom was quite far ahead when we started virtualizing or making use of virtualized technologies. So that was at a point in time. So when it was time to refresh, more meant how can we now use the latest management capabilities and so on to make it really efficient for us to manage the network. You can just imagine it's a huge environment to manage and make sure everything is kept up to date, and we load applications and tear applications down. And this solution, through strong management and just making it easy for our staff, enables us to be quick and agile to our customers, but then also give the staff enough time to train and just get on with other things as well, instead of just doing the heavy work on the platform all the time.
So one of the big improvements or benefits to Manx Telecom Group is not just from a financial point of view, but it's actually from a resource point of view. So freeing up, people within your team to, as you say, develop their skills, train, and kind of maybe deal with other issues that HPE can manage in the background for us.
Again, one of the key considerations for selecting HPE was the fact that, and then Nexstor actually to help with that, was the fact that it makes things more simple. As we all know, operators are under a huge amount of pressure to do more with the current resources that we have. That means we don't want to spend, or our people to spend time on doing deep technical work on the platforms. There's a wealth of experience with people, and they can rather focus on dealing with the customer or just coming up with new and innovative ways to do things.
Some of the other themes that we've talked around, innovation, technology, partnership, but something we've not really talked about yet is how this is supporting Manx Telecom Group's ESG goals. So Hugo, could you talk around that a little bit for us?
Yeah, sure. So ESG is very important for Manx Telecom. I think it's for many companies. For us, we do think about ESG almost as BAU actually. So whatever we do from a day-to-day basis needs to keep all of those principles in mind. From a social perspective, we're very strong on the island. We do a lot to support our customers on the island. And then, of course, from an environmental perspective, it's really important that we focus on this. The telco sector, and Manx Telecom included on the island, is one of the largest users of energy resources globally. There's a massive opportunity for telco operators and a responsibility for us to make sure that we do that in a sustainable way. So again, working with HPE, it was a key aspect for us to actually make sure that it's sustainable, as we do with our other partners. And what was really pleasing for us was, the forward-looking work that there is around the circular economy and some of those things. And
when we first engage with customers, first of all, we want to analyse and understand what workload they have. So we look at what workload is required, what are the applications doing, what services are really important to a customer and to the IT service to deliver.
can I just quickly interrupt on that? And that reporting is important because from our perspective, as we're reporting to the board or any of our other stakeholders, it's hollow if you don't have that report back. And again, it's something very important that you guys do for us.
Yeah, so I think on the reporting piece, as Steve mentioned, we offer to take back both HPE legacy infrastructure, but also other vendors as well. And that can be both servers and storage, but also laptops, PCs and desktops as well. And it's really because we're looking to be as customer and environmentally focused as possible. The Erskine Centre that Steve mentioned is the largest technology renewal centre in Europe, and over 95% of the infrastructure that goes into that renewal centre will end up being either reused or upcycled to new servers or new storage as well. The actual percentage of infrastructure that goes to wasteland is less than 2% overall. And we are really, really focused on how we can both benefit our customers, but also benefit society on that piece.
Hugo, one final question, and it's really around future challenges. What are the future challenges you see within your kind of part of the group?
So it's an ongoing, it's a continuation of what I said before. So technology builds technology. I'd be remiss not to say AI, so sorry I said it, but it really is something, we're on the hype cycle, but AI is going to play a major, major role. And if you think about it in practical terms, more computation required, more storage required, there's going to be huge implications on infrastructure as we've purchased here. And then the ability for that infrastructure to support what it is that these new applications can do for us is going to be key. So I think it's a major challenge to make sure that firstly, we can use those new applications as they serve the business, not just to use it, but to serve the business and the customers, to make sure that the infrastructure can indeed support that. But I think then also, as we need to expand environments and so on, to make sure, like you said before, that it's right-sized, that it's sustainable, and that the financial models and supports what it is that we need to do from a business perspective. What was really beneficial for us was, again, the partnership, that it wasn't simply a case of just trying to grow the platform. We reduced some of the functionality, as that it actually reduced CapEx levels. You kept the OpEx levels flat for us. And all that means is we can manage our business also in a sustainable way. We don't see that with other suppliers. There's a big push to have more operational costs into businesses, and it doesn't always work for operators. So these are challenges that we have. But with partners like Nexstor and HPE, we're in a good place, and we can see that there's road to continue down a path of success.
It feels to me like there will be challenges throughout the future for all of those in this space, but what Manx Telecom and what HPE are leading on is innovation and delivering the right products and services to their customers. And it does feel like this is the start of a kind of a real valued, important partnership. And Jim, Hugo, Steve, thank you for your time.